the first kind of section ends where you're talking about the need to teach worldview. And one of the areas you bring up is this idea of compartmentalization, that we separate the religious from the secular. We don't see how our worldview affects everything. And Jimmy, who is a youth pastor, wrote in with a question kind of relating to this and said, how do we get students to prioritize their faith when they and even their parents seem to prioritize attendance of other events over church? It's more important to go to your sports event and to your AP chemistry, practice exam than it is to go to youth group.
Well, that's a really hard question. That's the trick. I'm not going to pretend that I have that completely answered. I get asked that question by youth pastors all over the place because it's a question of priorities. And you can't force a young person to prioritize youth ministry if their parents and family simply don't. So the question I want to ask is this, a couple questions. Number one is, are you providing something of genuine, lasting value that can be transformative in the life of this young person? That's a question you got to really ask. If it's just come, hear a little message, have fun, have pizza, well, kids can watch YouTube. What is it that you're offering distinctly that the parents will see this and go, wow, that's valuable. I see that's important. So one of the last chapters in the book, Jim and I talk about these trips that we do to Berkeley and Salt Lake City and how we move the model from just teaching this generation to training this generation. So I found with students that when we take these trips, and I know you're doing these as well, Ryan, and working with this Brett at Maven.
Yeah.
I found when we tell students, hey, we're going to get out there, we're going to talk to atheists, we're going to go knock on doors with Mormons. We are going to go enter into the game. There's some students who won't come and don't pay the price, but there's an awful lot of students who want to step up the plate, want to do something interesting, and I want to focus on those few students. So I would just ask this youth pastor emailed in, I would say, what are you doing that uniquely offers value for this generation they can't get anywhere else? And if you start to ask that unique question, then I think you'll see maybe not as many young people that came to youth group a generation ago. Times have changed. They have changed. But the focus on quality as opposed to just quantity, you can see a lot of young people respond and have some life change. That I've seen it, and I know you've seen it too, Ryan.
Absolutely. It's one of the most incredible trips. I'm scheduled for 2, possibly 3 of those trips this summer.
Great.
One of them is an open enrollment Utah trip. So anyone listening, you can sign up for that. So you can email me at contact@coffeehousequestions.com and join on that trip. It's for high school students.